Hello everyone, I'm Charlie and today I will present something completely different. Um, so it actually all started last week, last Friday, um, with a comment from CP Reader on my latest review video, where he mentions that being a DC reader, I don't really pick up any bad books and asked if I disliked Batman, which I don't. It, as I told him, he's a really tough character for me to get into. At one point, so was Wonder Woman. I couldn't really maintain interest in the character, um, which that of course has changed since around 2010, I believe, with the last the Straczynski run. I did try some of Gail Simone's issues. I have a few arcs from that run, but with Batman, I've tried to get into the Bat books, but I just really can't, um, maintain interest. I think the characters are a little too dark, and that's not sort of the thing I enjoy as a reader. But I do have a few bad books. Some of them are back issues. Some of them are actually attempts at trying the bad books and sort of sticking with them. Um, of all, if it's not from the main bad books, Batman and Detective, I did have one of the bat related books, which I stuck to for quite a bit until that series ended, which I will show in a minute. So I told him, well, one of these days I'm going to do a video showcasing my Bat books, my meager Bat books, my collection of Batman books, and that day is today. So first I will show my most recent attempts at trying Batman books. I do have a certain preference on takes for Batman. I sort of like more of the more classic take, not so much the more modern take. That's just really hard for me to enjoy. I think uh, the villains, for example, are all one note. They're all freaking crazy. I don't know. I just really can't get into them. But I did try. One of my early attempts is with Batman number zero. I thought, maybe with the 0 year, I might try that and see how I liked it, but I never really, uh, you know, followed through on that. And hearing what you guys have, those who read the Bat books, had to say about 0 year, I'm glad I didn't pick that arc, mega arc. Of course, I showed this before, which is the Batman Long Halloween sampler, which I got on the Halloween Comic Fest from last year. So I really enjoy this one. So I might actually think of picking up the trade at least of Halloween one of these days. The other from Batman Day, of course, was Detective number 27, special edition. Um, Select. Then something that sort of showed up at my shop one day, and I didn't really even see it on the uh, previews list, which is this, Detective Comics Classics. So those are my most recent Batman acquisitions. Some of them I got them for free. Some of them I didn't. Uh, But yeah, I mean, I've written Batman books. So let's go with what's in my Meager collection. So I'll start off with the Millennium edition of Detective Comics number 327, the Millennium edition. Now this is more of the Batman I sort of like, the more Silver Age classic Batman. Next up, Detective Comics 508, which I found in my shop a while back, and again, sort of these pre-crisis books are really hard to come by here. So whenever I see books like this, um, I pick them up. Another book I actually got was Detective 627, uh, which is the 600th appearance of Batman. So again, something not that doesn't really show up at my shop usually. Detective Comics number 0. Um, you know, and the last issue of Detective that I got was Detective Comics 854 with Batwoman. This is one of the attempts at getting into the Batman books. Of course, I have her first appearance in the series in the Weekly 52. So I was kind of interested in continuing to read about Batwoman, but for some reason that has been lost into time, I can't remember why I didn't decide to stick with it. So I only got this issue. Another rarity that showed up at my shop a while back was Batman 280 from 1976. As you can see, I actually paid 120 pesos, which I think was somewhere around less than $10 at the time I picked it up. It's not in the best of condition. I gotta say it's around good. It's got a lot of problems here, and it actually has a price stamp. So this tells me that it was sold here at some store that sold magazines, and it cost originally here in Mexico five pesos. So again, when I got this issue, there were a bunch of other Bronze Age Bat books, which were a little bit higher in price than this one. And at some point, I thought I would, pick him up. But Batman being Batman and being so popular, those issues sort of, somebody else bought them before I did. But I was very lucky to get this issue. Definitely need to get new bags for this. The next issue I got is Batman 441, and from the first appearances of Tim Drake. Actually, this is actually his origin. I know I actually saw the actual issue where he wears the costume for the first time years ago, and I didn't buy it then. Uh, so I was just lucky to find this actual issue not too long ago. I think I probably got this last year. Next issue is Batman 551, and I have to admit that I bought this book just based on the cover. I really like the Batgirl cover, with Batgirl showing up, and Barbara, the current, Oracle, really staring at herself. So I was just intrigued by the cover, so that's why I bought this book. Next issue is Batman 573. This book I actually didn't buy. My parents got it for me back in '99, from November 1999, when they actually went to visit a friend, some friends that lived in the States. They actually went to Phoenix, I believe, and I asked them to get me some comics because at that time I wasn't going to shops. They were where to find comic shops. I was still buying my comics in stores that sold imported magazines. So I was just getting all the newsstand, this is also a newsstand edition as well. So I didn't really buy a lot of books. Back then I was buying a lot of Marvel books. So they got me this along with other three books. One was a double, which was Amazing Spider-Man number 25, an issue of Captain America, and Superman Man of Steel, I believe it's issue 96. And of course this one. And because I do enjoy reading Batman whenever I pick up the odd issue here and there, but not enough to just really pick the books up. Next one is Batman 619. Again, it's another book I bought for the cover, because it was a fold-up cover, and I remember seeing the promo for this issue online, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. So I actually went and got it. Of course, you all know this is the last issue of the Hush storyline. So, again, just for the cover, I didn't really enjoy the story because this is this is something I often find being Jeff Loeb's weakness with that last issue. Uh, he sort of he sort of rushes to the conclusion of things. So I felt that this issue didn't really say anything or had a full story, but just sort of Batman checking up on his friends to see how they were after the whole Hush ordeal. So this really felt like could have been told in the previous issue with less pages. If they made, I guess, issue 618 a bit longer, this could have basically fit in because it just felt like it was an extended ending. Next up is Batman 673. I actually browsed through this issue at my shop when this came out, and because in part it retold the Golden Age story where Batman finds who killed his parents, Joe Chill. just because of that, because it's a new take on a really old story uh, that got me, basically, interested in this issue. So I sort of knew a bit of what was going on, so I basically just picked it up because of that. And then the final Batman issue I have is Batman 700. Basically picked it up because it's the 700th issue of Batman. Nothing uh, major about why I picked it up, except that it was the 700th issue of, of Batman, and I have this thing for picking up all these big anniversary issues. If you've noticed in my Superman collection, I got every big. I got I have pictures of Superman 500, 600, 700, or Action Comics 800, 700. So just because of it being a double-sized anniversary issue, I got it. Okay, next up is a 6 issue bi-weekly miniseries that came out back in 2005, um, which is a sort of sequel to the Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers Batman detective run. So this is Detective Batman Dark Detective #1. Issue #2. Issue #3. Issue #4. Issue 5. And issue #6. Next up is this one, Batman Scarecrow, Fear. This I think came around the time Batman Begins came out. Also saw at my shop, and I was intrigued. I didn't know this was. I don't remember seeing any promo or anything for this book, and yet no, there it was, and I picked it up. It reprints Detective Comics number 571, by Mike W. Barr, Alan Davis, and Paul Neary. So again, it was there, and I browsed through it and picked it up. Another attempt at trying to pick anything Batman, and the popularity of the All-Star line. Actually picked up issues one and two of Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder, issue 2. Definitely this is the book that made me realize that I think Frank Miller's a little bit sick in the head, because he sure loves his violence, and I decided not to continue picking up, based on the fact that I thought, Frank Miller is nuts. So another interesting attempt at picking up some Batman is this: the original Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, issues 1 and issue 2. Now I don't remember exactly why I did not continue to pick this up. I actually like the, I mean, it's Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison, so I just can't remember for the life of me why I did not continue with this series. But now we get into the only book series that I picked up that I did stick for more than just a couple of issues, and this is Nightwing. I started with issue 125, which was written by Marv Wolfman with art by Dan Jargens. I think before this one, Marv did a year one arc, which I wanted to pick up, but those issues were like gone at my shop. I never seen that um, the that arc, when it came out or after. But I started picking up issue 125 and I actually added it to my poll with the next few issues. So that's 125. Issue 126. Issue 127. One 28. One 29. 130. 131. 132. 133. 134. 135. 136. 137. 138, text of act written by Fabian Cieza. 139, 140. This is actually by Tomasi and cut up by Rax Morales and well, so it's 140. 141. Actually has an appearance by Superman. So 141. 140, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151. There we go. 152, and the last issue of Nightwing, volume whatever, I think the first time going, is 153. And finally, and the Nightwing annual number 2 from 2007. So there you go. There you go. So that's all of the Batman books and Batman related books that I actually own. And who knows, maybe I'll be picking up some more Batman books in the future, trying it out, hoping that there will be one book that does capture my attention, like I said, longer than just an issue or two. But probably be getting a few back issues as well. So I've gone a little bit long with this video. So this week, of course, I will be doing a review video. Slow week for me this week. Only 2 books are coming out. So I'm not sure if I'll do a full review or just a quickie with my phone. But I'll end this now with what I usually say, and that is until next time, keep smiling.